Welcome to the edge of your sanity. Tonight, the veil between our world and the next is dangerously thin. Close your doors, lock the windows, and turn off every light in the house. Prepare yourself for a journey into the darkest corners of human experience. These are not just stories, they are echoes of the forgotten, the whispers of those who never truly left. Listen closely to the silence between my words, for that is where the real horror resides. Are you truly alone right now, or is someone watching you from the shadows? The air here is thick with the scent of ozone and ancient decay. Every step you take echoes through the cavernous, tiled hallways, where the walls seem to breathe with the collective agony of the forgotten. You see a flicker of white at the end of the corridor, a nurse who shouldn't be there, her face a featureless, smooth void. She beckons you closer with a hand made of nothing but pale moonlight and old, terrible secrets. You cannot run. Your feet are heavy as lead.
There is a shadow in the corner of your room that does not belong to the furniture. It stands taller than any man, its limbs elongated and twisted like the branches of a dead oak tree. You try to blink it away, but it remains, inching closer every time you look away. It feeds on your discomfort, growing darker and more solid as your heart rate climbs. The silence of the night is broken only by the sound of its jagged, wet breathing, which begins to mimic your own rhythm with terrifying precision. It knows you see it.
In the middle of the night, the old rotary phone in the hallway begins to ring, but the wires were cut years ago. You pick it up, and all you hear is the sound of heavy static and a voice that sounds like grinding stones. It whispers your name over and over, recounting things you did when you were a child, secrets you never told a living soul. The voice claims it has been waiting in the walls, watching you grow, waiting for the moment your spirit is weak enough to claim. The line goes dead, but the whispering continues in your ear.
The basement door creaks open on its own, revealing a staircase that seems to descend into an infinite abyss. You feel an inexplicable urge to go down, a pull at the base of your skull. As you descend, the temperature drops until your breath frosts in the air. At the bottom, you find a single wooden chair facing the corner. A small rhythmic tapping comes from behind the bricks. Something is trying to get out. Something that has been trapped in the foundation of this house since the day the first stone was laid. And now, you've brought it a key.
Deep in the heart of the pine barrens, the trees grow in unnatural shapes, as if they are trying to turn away from something hidden in the soil. Hikers speak of the Silent Mile, a stretch of trail where all birdsong stops and the wind dies down to a dead calm. If you find yourself there at dusk, do not look behind you. The crunch of leaves you hear isn't your own echo. It's the sound of something shifting its weight, mimicking your gait, waiting for you to trip so it can finally bridge the gap between the trees and your soul.
Mirrors are not just glass and silver, they are windows that sometimes forget to close. You catch a glimpse of yourself in the hallway mirror, but your reflection is standing perfectly still while you are walking. It watches you with eyes that are slightly too wide, a smile spreading across its face that your own lips aren't making. It begins to tap on the glass from the other side, a soft, insistent metallic sound. It wants to swap places. It's tired of the cold, gray world on the other side, and it finds your life very, very inviting. The attic is where we hide the things we want to forget. Old trunks filled with moth-eaten clothes and photographs of people whose names have been lost to time. But some memories refuse to stay buried. You hear the sound of a rocking chair moving on the floorboards above your head, back and forth, back and forth. When you investigate, the room is empty, yet the chair is still swaying. A cold wind blows through the sealed room, and the smell of old roses and funeral incense fills your lungs. The past is never truly dead. It's just waiting for an audience. A child's laughter is usually a sound of joy, but not when it's coming from the crawl space at 3 in the morning. You live alone, yet you find small, wet footprints on the kitchen tile leading toward the pantry. You hear a small voice asking you to play hide and seek. "I'm under the floor," it giggles, followed by the sound of fingernails scratching against wood. You realize with a jolt of terror that the scratching isn't coming from the floorboards below you. It's coming from inside the very walls of your bedroom, right behind your headboard.
The final hour is upon us, and the air in your room has turned heavy, as if the darkness itself has gained weight. You feel a hand, cold as ice, brush against the back of your neck. There is no one there, but the impression of fingers remains, burning like frostbite. The entities we've discussed tonight are no longer just stories. They have followed the sound of my voice into your home. They are standing in the doorway. They are hiding under the bed, and they are watching you through the screen. Do not turn around. Whatever you do, do not look back.
The fear lingers long after the screen goes dark. It settles in your bones and makes every creak of the floorboards sound like a footstep. You will find yourself checking the locks twice tonight and peering into the dark corners of your closet before you dare to close your eyes. But remember, the ghosts of the mind are often more persistent than the ghosts of the earth. They stay with you, feeding on the memory of these tales, waiting for the next time you decide to venture into the dark alone. Sleep well if you can, for the night is long. Thank you for joining me in this descent into darkness. If these stories chilled your blood, remember that there are many more waiting in the shadows. To ensure you never miss another haunting tale, you must subscribe and ring the bell, or the spirits might lose their way. Leave a comment below if you've ever had a brush with the paranormal. We'd love to hear your story, if you're brave enough to tell it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and most importantly, keep the lights on. Good night.